Hi, this is Sherry. I'm coming at you from Canyon Lake, and it's Memorial Day weekend, so it's crazy here. We've got parties all over the lake, boats crazy everywhere, and I'm getting kind of knocked into the bushes here, so we're gonna try and wing this and see how well we do while I'm rocking and rolling. Literally rocking here. It is so warm all of a sudden in California, which is, you would think, well, it is warm in California, but it hasn't been, We've had really cool nights, and but the seagrass in the lake is just like growing, so spring is definitely in full swing, almost into summer here. So all right, what we're gonna do is I have several cards, and I'm gonna go straight to the major one first, and if we have time, I'll go to the next. At this point, I'm not gonna deal with any animal totems because I just don't know how long this camera's gonna last, and it took me a little while to get out here. So I'm gonna face you out so you guys can take a look at the lake, and I'm gonna get ready here. The deck that we're gonna be working with is the Fairy Oracle by Lucy Cavendish, and the first card that we're speaking on is Into the Woods. Can you see her? I hope you can see her. You look at this girl, and she looks, here she is in the forest, my favorite place. She looks a little trepidatious, right? The number is 29, so 2 is everything happening as it's meant to. 9 is the endings of something, so she's leaving one part of her life, moving into another. She seems a little bit fearful, kind of exposed, right? She's not really sure of her way here. She feels a little bit unsafe, it looks like. She feels like she might be kind of alone, but if you look closely, you can see she's not really fully alone, is she? She's got a little rabbit at her side. She kind of makes me feel like it's kind of like Alice in Wonderland, kind of like into the woods she goes, and she's got this rabbit. She's about ready to go down the rabbit hole. She's not quite sure what's coming, but she's going. So for a while, she's going to be moving along at a pace, not quite sure of where she's going, but she's going anyway. So you might be feeling like this in your life, where you might be feeling a little bit unsafe, a little bit uncertain about where you're going. But Spirit's saying it's time for you to move beyond your shelter, move beyond your home. It's time to take a chance and go where you have felt uncomfortable. I've done this several times before, and I'm doing it now again. This is where we're at. She kind of has to walk through the woods where she is exposed and things are challenging, but there's no turning back now. And they're saying there's going to be great rewards for her courage. Every time, I thought about writing an article this morning. It took me a while, and I ended up in a puddle of tears instead. I was thinking, I had it all, written up, and it was a really cool article, and then I went looking for the pictures to accompany it of all the people and places that I had encountered on my journeys, and I just lost it. And by the time I got all the pictures compiled, I'd lost it had erased whatever I wrote on my Yahoo, on my Angel's Whisper account. It just disappeared. So I guess I wasn't meant to send it right away, but it's about this same situation where I left California and I went on my spiritual journey. Spirit said, now it's time to go. And I left my home, I left my family, I left my job, I left my friends, I left my pets, I left my cars, I left my whole way of life, and I went on this spiritual journey, and I had no idea that a 3-week trip that I was going to take to Wisconsin was going to end up on basically the last 4 years of my life, this total journey where I went on a 3-week vacation and I never went home to California. I stayed there a year, met my soul family, my surrogate mother and father, and Uncle Phil, and Mama Sherry, and Papa Terry, and my little sister Alexa, and big brother Dennis, and gosh, so many people. Early Thomas, all of my musician friends, Greg, Rotek, so many people. I can't even mention them all. Stephen and Catherine and Mia, and just goes on and on. But my life completely changed, and I went with nothing but the clothes on my back and my suitcase, and Spirit's guidance. And Spirit was telling me it's time for you to stay. And I thought, wow, how can I do this? I was scared. I was scared shitless, and I will tell you that. I was so scared. I thought, my family thought I was crazy. My friends thought I was crazy. I quit my job, my 14-year career. I had a huge clientele. But Spirit wanted me to move, and I did it. And I had no car. For 6 months that I was there, I walked everywhere I went. And finally I got a bike, and then I rode my bike everywhere I went. And then Spirit said at the 1-year mark, after I had really gotten entrenched in this place, you're moving to Sedona. And I thought, what? You know, and I was scared about that. I didn't know anybody but one person in Sedona, and I'd never met him, my friend Joseph Whitewolf. He was my shaman friend. But Archangel Michael literally appeared in my bedroom, and he said, you are going. And I said, okay. Wasn't gonna argue with him. So off I went, right? Next journey. I arrived there. I only did a 1-week trip this time, and I thought, well, if Spirit's gonna unroll this the way they did for me in Wisconsin, make it work for me, they'll do it in 1 week. And they did. And within, 3 weeks, I secured myself a home, and we moved forward on my spiritual journey. And I was there for 6 months without really any communication with anyone else except for my friend John, that Spirit finally brought to me at 5 months in. And Joseph was very, very busy, so he wasn't really around. So it was kind of just me and John and my cats and the animals, and that was it. And then John was gone too, and then I met Patrick, and then I was told, you're going back to California. And I came back to California 3 years ago, and I gotta tell you, this has been the most challenging time I've ever had. California doesn't do well for me. I'm like drowning in California, but I had to come back and wrap things up and connect with certain people, and it looks like it's time to move again. So this is the kind of situation where, you've got to put your trust in Spirit and move, and sometimes it feels really scary. And like I said, I was scared, and I will tell you that there is no way that I took care of myself. Spirit did it, because the way things unrolled, when I went to Wisconsin, I had nowhere to stay, and I literally ended up living in the most beautiful, beautiful suite in the gorgeous White Lace Inn, and my room and board was working in the kitchen and being a hostess, and that's what made my way there. And then when I got to Sedona, I literally had to start doing my spiritual work online, and I was terrified. It was so scary. And so like I said, Spirit will make it work if it's going to happen for you. If you're following your path, it's going to happen in the way that Spirit wants it to happen. So that's our first card, and I guess that's why I wasn't supposed to write the message for you guys this morning. I was just supposed to tell you. So here we go. Next message. I'm going to hold you guys here. I know this isn't as beautiful of a view, but I couldn't really get out in there where everybody else was because it's crazy. Okay, the next message is called Glimpse, and it's talking about rainbow and rainbow children, crystal children, indigo children, and beyond. You see this one hiding behind the tree? He feels a little bit forlorn. He's kind of hiding a little bit, like he doesn't really belong. He's hiding. He feels comfortable in nature. He's got a wing, 2 wings popping out behind. This person is definitely on the scout. He's got magic about him. And what this message is talking about is these indigo children. These are peaceful warriors, and they're deep lovers of nature. But these are the ones that, we humans are becoming. We're moving into what they are. And what's interesting is these ones have scars, very deep scars, because they have been told that they are not normal. And what's interesting is that's bullshit. They are so, what is normal? I don't want normal, but they've been told that there's something wrong with them. That's what's wrong. They are the ones who are able to see. They are able to connect. They are the ones who can see Spirit, connect with Spirit. And because of this, they have been told that they're crazy. They've been, many have been sent to mental institutions. Many have been put on drugs to try and dumb down these energies and the visions that they see. And it's time for this to stop. This is a time to let go of this. And the ones that have suffered from this, it's time for them to let go of their anger and take charge of their life and make their peace with what has happened in their life and recognize that these gifts, ooh, yeah. Walk your walk, talk your talk, crow. These gifts have been brought to you, and it's their responsibility to take these gifts and use them. This is their truth. They need to, these people are gentle, nature, people that protect nature. They're very, very happy people, simple people. They want to connect to the earth, and they want to connect with Spirit. And what it is it's time for them to embrace who they are, and for others to embrace who they are, and for us who know about these ones to support them and let them know there's nothing wrong with you. We're proud of you. You are exactly what you're supposed to be, and you are a shining light to all of us. So that's that message. I'm very, very strong about this because I have friends who are incredibly gifted, and they have been persecuted their whole lives. They've been told that they were weird, they didn't fit in. There's ones, sorry I'm dropping my cards as always. Like I said, ones that have been put into the hospital. They've been actually talked into believing themselves that there's something wrong with them, and they're not. my heart goes out to them, and it's time to embrace them and hug them, and the universe is saying, you know, we love you, and support yourself, and recognize that there's nothing wrong with you, and we are supporting you. Okay, so the next message is a very special message. It's called The Greenman's Bride. And this is a twin flame situation, very close to my own heart. It talks about the sacred union and a commitment ceremony. It talks about a relationship that's moving into a deep relationship. It talks about that this green man, he has found his bride, his beloved, and together their connection has grown. This is a true connection that has developed, and it's coming time for them to make a commitment. A relationship, a partnership has reached a stage where some kind of a ceremony is going to take place. Because it speaks of wedding ceremonies. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be getting married, but these people are no longer young and giddy in the euphoria of their beginning love. They have grown and matured, and their love is deep and strong, and they have both grown into their own gifts. And they're saying that this wild man of the forest, he has found his beloved, and she is ready to become his woman and his partner. And recognizing she's a fairy as well. These ones, they're of the forest, both of them. And they embrace that. And together they will move forward and take their future as loving partners in a sacred sexual union. They're contemplating the direction of their relationship at this time when this commitment of lovers comes together. It's an amazing time of fertility. We keep getting to a rabbit, and the girl that was going into the forest, she had a rabbit next to her. That's fertility, and that's talking about creativity and